Hey, this is Victor the Misantropic. Who else would it be, right? And today I'm going to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I mentioned in previous videos, is that my life is a fucking war. You know, that's what it feels like. But yeah, I don't know if people know this. I have autism, high functioning, and just a lot other issues as well. And I felt like an outsider my entire life. And I felt like not only is it an outsider, but every time I try to fit in and be an insider, try to get involved, try to be accepted. And well, usually when I finally feel like I'm getting that, someone just has to come in and fuck everything up. And worse still, they get away with it every time because no one backs me up. And oftentimes they back them up, as crazy as it sounds. Like, you know, could you imagine people sympathizing with Russia after Ukraine tries to defend themselves against Russia, who attacked them first? That's kind of what happens to me a lot of the time. But I'll get to that, I suppose. First of all, like any war, let's go over the factions in the war, the warring factions, as it were. The ones that are trying to fuck with the Republic of Victor, which is me. First, we have the Assholians. I'm going to borrow this term from the angry video game nerd, from the planet Ass. Assholians are, as the name implies, assholes. They're miserable, terrible people that like to go out of their way to fuck with people for no goddamn reason except because they get a sick enjoyment out of it. Examples of Assholians that I've had to deal with are, I'm playing Advance Wars by web. I join a game, and I play my turns a bit slower than everyone else, but still within the turn time limit, so I'm not doing anything wrong, and a bunch of people start antagonizing me for playing too slow. You know, basically griefing me. Or I try to fucking go to femfiction.net and write about how the story of my life, why my life is so frustrating and how frustrating it is to have to deal with people excluding me, and people vote bomb it mercilessly to the point where I can't even write anymore because it's perpetuating the same rejection I'm trying to write about how much it sucks. Or, well, let's think of some other examples. I probably should have scripted this beforehand, but like, college, going to college. I remember people would kick me out of groups. People would screw me over in topic selection, prices, right things, and laugh about it like it's some fucking joke. And why? Because they get a sick enjoyment out of it. They're fucking assholes. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. And I've had to deal with a lot of this fucking shit. And I don't know if some of them feel like they're defending everyone else against the person who's antagonizing them. As I said, I have autism. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. So that's really not fair to expect me to give me that much credit and not give me a chance to understand what's going on and maybe change, or maybe you gain a sense of empathy for me, if that's even something you possess. When you're an assholian, I suppose that's expecting a lot out of you. But whatever it is, I've had to deal with these assholes a lot in my life. I remember, too, there was one time I went to a block party and I was playing bingo, and there was this one, for lack of a better term, bitch, who was just giving me a fucking hard time. And it basically ruined the entire day. Like, I was trying to mind my own business and have fun, and you know, this one bitch just keeps giving me a fucking hard time. I don't even remember what I did or why she did it, but she just had it out for me, man. Really had it out for me. And it ruined the entire time. You know, I still remember this. And, you know, it's also part of the reason why I think they had another block party at that village, and they had this duck thing, and I knew where the grand prize was because it was like turned up. So I picked it and I fucking said, oh, I knew where it was, and I got the grand prize. I'm like, why'd you do that? I'm like, karma's a bitch, asshole. I don't even know if it was the same person who did it, but like, you know, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, you weren't really sticking up for me either, so you're just as bad as them. Speaking of which, you know, a lot of times when there are the assholians, we do have the little pussians, the neutralians, little pussies that sit back and watch this shit happen. You know them. They're the ones whose modus operandi is don't get involved, even when they need to get involved. Neutralians are just what they are. They want to remain neutral. The little pussies. I call them pussies because that's what they are. They're cowards who refuse to get involved even when they need to get involved because things are getting out of hand. Like when you have someone antagonizing someone at the poker table and giving someone an undue hard time and ruining their good time, you should either tell them to shut the fuck up and leave that person alone, or you should get the floor involved. Or when you see someone who's antagonizing someone at a bingo game and ruining their good time for no reason, don't just sit back and say nothing. Tell them to leave that person the fuck alone. Or when you see somebody fucking getting vote bombed on a fan fiction site when they're trying to write about personal things, offer that person some support and tell those people, you need to leave this guy the fuck alone. This is unacceptable what you're doing. But no one ever fucking does that for me. Because again, it's my life's a war and it's every man for themselves. And even when there's atrocities being committed at my expense, as long as everyone else is happy, you know, they're just like, oh, it's not happening to me, so I don't care. They don't get involved. They don't get involved. They sit back and watch this shit happen. They watch people grief me on Advanced Wars by Web. They watch people treat me like shit at the poker table, fucking exclude me. And, you know, I get progressively angrier and angrier and angrier with the whole situation, the whole fucking thing. And eventually, I grow a backbone, understandably so. I get tired of it. I get tired of people trying to mind my own business and say, just leave me the fuck alone. And you got Rush over here launching bombers at my cities. So you know what I say? I say, okay, enough of this fucking shit. The next goddamn bomber that comes over my airspace and tries to attack me is going to get shot down by my anti-aircraft guns. Stop fucking with me. And, you know, I'm mean business, motherfucker. Leave me alone. And then the third faction shows up. The third faction shows up and gets involved. Oh, wait a second. Did you think they were going to back me up, though? Do you think that they'd actually say, yeah, you're right, leave that guy alone. This has gone on long enough. You need to stop doing this. Oh, you are so naive. They never do that. They never fucking back me up. Instead, this group, the enablarians, who... based on enablers, or homo sympions, based on their tendency to simp for one another, they back up the bad guys. You know what I mean? You got people fucking griefing me on Advanced Wars by Web, and when I dare say, if you keep doing this, I'm going to play slow just to spite you because I'm tired of you wasting my good time, and when I dare to do that, they say, you're griefing these people, how dare you do that? Yeah, they griefed me first, so technically it's counter-griefing, but... you know, ignore the context. That's something homo sympions do pretty damn well because they're stupid. Or you get people fucking, you know, antagonizing me at the poker table, and I snap at them and say, you need to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. And then all of a sudden, everyone else at the table who had been silent just suddenly speaks up and says, you're being too hard on that guy. He wasn't, I'm sure he didn't mean to fucking make you feel like shit when he ruthlessly attacked you. Or I fucking make a post on Fim Fiction calling them out for vote bombing me and treating me like garbage. And you got these assholes coming to me and actually having the gall to say, no one will miss you, you're so toxic, you know, you got what you deserve, as if anyone deserves to be treated that way on personal stories. But that's a matter for another video. And just blindly siding with the bad guys. Or you make a Facebook post saying I'm sick of people ignoring my Facebook posts, crying for help. You guys are sick, I'm done with you. And you got people who you think are your friends coming onto the post and calling you selfish. How dare you try to put them down like this? They did nothing wrong. When really, I think it's despicable behavior to ignore someone's cries for help like that, sustained. But, you know, it's just, this is what they do. They're masterful at ignoring the context and simping for the bad guys. Sadly, I'd have to say my parents and sister do this pretty fucking well, too. Can't even get an alliance at home. You know, I try to talk about how people have screwed me over online. Their response, well, it's your fault for going online and expecting anything better. I talk about how my friends have lied to my face about things that are important to me that they promised to help me with and then ghosted me on. Oh, it's your fault for not seeing that coming. You know, I talk about how just everything goes wrong and they always twist it so it's my fault. And simp for the bad guys that they don't even know over their own son. Quite disgusting behavior, I have to say. But they get away with it because there's none of the fourth faction, the decentarians, to actually get involved. And I have to deal with this shit constantly. So decentarians, as I said, are the fourth faction. The fourth faction that are disgustingly rare, but they're the ones that when they see a problem, their response is not, how can I simp for the bad guy? Or how can I avoid getting involved? They're like, this is a problem, it needs to be addressed, I'm going to do something about it. I consider myself a decentarian. Not 100% all the time, but definitely a lot less lately after people have screwed me over. But I've definitely gotten involved in the past. I've tried defending people at the poker table when someone's giving them a hard time. Don't do it as much anymore because I've had assholes, the victims I'm trying to defend, get macho and say, I don't need someone to defend me. Shut the fuck up and say thank you. Or, you know, there was this other guy called Oscar Ferguson. I don't know if anyone knows him. I made a bunch, I used to make troll pwn videos on another account. They're still up. I think you can look it up. They're kind of cringy, but they're there. And there was this one guy called Oscar Ferguson, and these people would just, I've discovered him by coming across his imposter. Guess he had a fucking imposter, like someone who was impersonating him and posting terrible comments to defame him. And I made a pwn video about the imposter thinking it was him. And then people are like, why are you making this about this? He doesn't deserve this. So I go to his channel and oh my God, it was a cesspool. It was horrific cyberbullying. Like there was tens of people, no joke, just commenting day and night shit to trigger this guy and piss him the fuck off. How dare you rape pigs, Oscunt pig raping sin. How dare you rape girls, Oscunt girl raping sin. Oscunt rapists and molest children. And then coming up with excuses for it, like, oh, well, he says the N-word sometimes, so that means it's okay to bully him. No, he shouldn't say that, but it's no excuse to bully somebody. And I had the feeling part of the reason he says that is just because he's fucking tired at his breaking point, so you have no empathy at all. But yeah, like, I didn't just make excuses. I took that video down. I apologized to Oscar, and then I started making videos pwning the trolls that were attacking him. They got pretty pissed at me. They actually made, like, death threats against me for a while. And then I gave up on it. Well, I mean, that was before, but, like, they got pretty fucking pissed at me, honestly. So, like, I'm glad to know that my counter-trolling worked pretty well. But, yeah, the point is, I didn't just sit back and watch this shit happen. I got involved, and I've gotten involved before to push back against bullshit like this, because I know how it feels to be alone on the receiving end of this, with everyone being too much of a pussy or a simp to get involved and actually defend the guy who needs the help right then and there. But unfortunately, decentarians are very rare. I mean, how many times have I had a decentarian assist me? I think there was one time at the poker table where someone was giving me a hard time and someone said, you need to leave that guy the fuck alone. Like, seriously. Though I was playing though I don't even know if that counts, because I was playing as one of the characters from My Little Pony. So maybe they thought I was a girl and they were trying to simp for me. I don't know. Either way, though, I'm having a really hard time thinking of people who actually got involved on my behalf and shut bullshit down like this. They're disgustingly rare. And even my own parents, again, like, you know, I asked them, why the fuck didn't you tell off these people that were harassing me on this Facebook post, giving me a hard time? And they're like, well, what do you think it look like if your mom gets involved? I don't care what it looks like. Back your son up, motherfucker. Seriously. He's being attacked. You claim to care about him. Fucking show it. Tell these people to leave him the fuck alone and stop being more focused on pushing me to take the post down that you failed to do that. Whatever. Decentarians are disgustingly rare. And the point I'm trying to make is my life is a fucking war. It's a war zone. And I think it's part of the reason why I have PTSD, because I've had to deal with this day in and day out for most of my life. Sure, there's certain environments where it's not as bad. Like, thankfully, at my workplace, it's not that bad. I feel like I am actually well liked by most people, except one person, but everyone has a hard time with them, so it's not personal in that regard. And even then, it's like, I don't think they hate me. But again, like, that's rare. Usually, when I try to join groups, I'm the odd man out. People single me out, they shove me aside, and then when I dare to raise my voice to fucking speak up and defend myself, everyone who fucking goddamn was sitting there watching this shit happen, twiddling their thumbs, jumps in and attacks me, showing that they were capable, they just didn't feel like doing it when it was for the good guy. I mean, even then, like, you know, it's just, even today, you know, I went to a junior college disability club meeting, and I was told that by an assholian that, oh, you're not a student here this semester, so you can't go. You know, I'm like, but I was going to take classes next semester, and I took classes the previous semester. I'm taking a break, and it wasn't even meant to be a break. You know, they just kicked me out of the class, and I didn't get back in time. Why are you kicking me out? And I'm like, we don't care, you just can't go. It's like, you're an assholian. You're an assholian's what you are. You know, why do you care about this? You know, I can understand if the last time I went there was 10 years ago, but, you know, last semester, and you're really going to throw a hissy fit about this? And I considered, honestly, drawing attention to it on the Discord group for the site. But I just said, you know what, fuck it. What's the point? Because this is what happens. Every time I've been fucked over like this, and I've spoken up about it, trying to get some sort of sympathy and get some sort of outrage going that this is happening to me unfairly again, No one backs me up and they attack me. So I guarantee what would have happened if I'd have made a post saying, I'm just leaving this Discord group. You know, I was just today rejected from the club and I really just don't feel welcome here. Do you think anyone would have fucking backed me up and said, no, Victor, please don't go. That person was out of line to do that. We want you here. Please don't go. You didn't deserve that. Or would they have said, good riddance. This is an airport. I have a fetish for airports, so that's why I'm going to say this isn't an airport. No need to announce your departure. We don't care. You're being too hard on him. They probably would have said that, right? I mean, I don't have proof that they would have said that, but based on the track record, I know they would have fucking said it. No one ever fucking takes my side on these things. They're really sad, too, because, like, it's a disability club. People who have been excluded before. You'd think they'd be the last people on earth to do that, but, you know, that's actually something. They've been the first a lot of times, I'll tell you that much. So I suppose that's a subject for another video. Either way, you know, my life's a war. I try to fit in, I try to join things, I try to get involved, and every fucking time, pretty much, it seems, there's always some asshole who has to come in and ruin it for me. And it's to the point where I can't even defend myself anymore because I have been steamrolled by little pussies that up until then were fine twiddling their thumbs and watching this happen. Every time I've tried to speak up, to the point where, what's the point? You know, why would I speak up if nothing ever goes in my favor? You know, I try to point out the injustice, and people are using it as a springboard to attack me for being rude to the antagonist who started this whole fucking thing and went out of their way to fuck me. Are you serious right now? You know, it's better just to fucking not even go. And it's sad. Like, I feel like if I'd have drawn attention to that, maybe someone could say, that rule's fucked up. We need to change that, because we're kind of being hypocrites when we do that. But, you know, the only person who was going to say anything about it left silently because he didn't see a point. And now nothing's going to change. And I guarantee other people who have been excluded and try to find a group to fit in with because they're disabled and find this group to fit in with are going to be treated the same way again if they dare to take a semester off. So nothing's going to change and other people are going to get screwed. But you know what? What's the point of speaking up? Because nothing would change anyways, right? I mean, what can I do alone? Until other people are ready to stop acting like assholeians, stop being enablerians who back them up, and stop being neutralians, aka pussies who just don't want to get involved and actually stand up for what's right and push to make positive change, nothing's going to fucking change. We need more decentarians in the world who aren't afraid to get involved. But, you know, until people like my parents, disgustingly enough, actually have the ability to recognize this is a problem and start saying we need to do something about this instead of calling me out for trying to make waves, as it were, nothing's ever going to change. But whatever. This is me signing off. Fuck everyone.